Not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist. You opened your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Ephix and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isodo. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy. Because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All these we pray, all these we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said,
welcome. Thank you for joining me on this very program today. Wherever you are watching me from, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greeting according to your time zone. Wherever you are joining, please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe, like, and share. As you join us, you like and share so that we can be able to reach to as many people as possible. You know what we do on this platform. We come here to encourage the Biafran people. We come here to encourage all those who have been oppressed in the contraption called Nigeria. We come here to make our case before the whole world, for them to hear our voice and hear their own side of story. We don't come here to preach lies or blackmail. We don't come here to instigate violence. We don't come here to preach propaganda. We don't come here to preach hate. What we do here is we come here to reveal our own side of the story and make sure that our situation is being heard, that the true story on what the Biafran people are facing is being seen and heard by the whole world. That is what we do on this very program. And we will continue to do so. No matter how they try to stop us, hinder us, we will not allow anybody to tell our story. We will tell our story by our own self. We will tell the world the exact situation of things in Biafra land. That is what we will continue to do. No matter how they try to stop us, no matter the propaganda, they can never stop us. And this platform where you are watching today, this is an autopiloted platform. Autopiloted in the hand of Chukwu Okike Abiyama. This is the platform that belonged to the original IPOB of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That IPOB that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu told you that they are consistency personified, unbribable. That is where you are watching from. That original IPOB that is today under the Biafra Republic Government exile, guided and protected by our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, under the supreme leadership of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That is where we stand. And we continue to speak up and state the case of the Biafran people before the whole world. We will continue to do so. No matter their attack and blackmail propaganda, they can buy anybody but in IPOB. The original IPOB of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, those who were born from their mother's womb to restore Biafra. You cannot bribe them. You cannot cajole them. You cannot blackmail them. You cannot make them stop asking for their freedom. We will continue to demand for our freedom until we are free. That is what we do. And we have come today to do the needful. So wherever you are watching us from, please, as you join this platform today, kindly like and share. Pay close attention to everything we are about to say here today. It is for your own sake and for the good of every one of us. You are welcome, my beloved sister, Linda TV Show. I appreciate you so much, my beloved sister. Thank you for your kind support. So wherever you are watching me from today, I beg you in the name of Chukwu, pay attention, pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Each time I come online here, I try as much as possible to focus on most of the blackmail that they are pushing against Biafra, because these are where they are holding as their stronghold. Emotional blackmail is the stronghold of the enemy against Biafra, knowing fully well the kind of mindset we have, knowing fully well how our heart is. They know that we are people that value human life. We are people that value life. We are people that respect the orders of the world, respect the law, and we are the people who care about God. These are the things they use, the tools they use against us to push us back. But today, I can tell you that you must pay close attention to everything that's happening. We can no longer afford to allow the enemy to begin to use this blackmail against us. We cannot continue to afford to allow enemy to continue to push us back with these blackmails. Wherever you are watching this program from, I beg you in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiyama, do not allow anybody to deceive you. In every information that comes across your way, including what you are hearing in this platform, please apply your common sense to it. Whatever information that comes across your way, apply your common sense to it going forward. We are in a critical time, a very critical time. The period we're in is so critical because this is a triumphant entry into Biafra. The movements to walk through the gates into Biafra, it's going to start on the 31st of this month. The enemy knows about it. Those who don't want Biafra to come, they know about it. They are fighting it right, left, and center. In fact, they have utilized every weapon they have in their hand. They have played their last card, and today they are in Jacob. And yet, they are not seeing things changes. Today, they are revising all their techniques to make sure that they stop the coming of Biafra. But I bet you, if you are watchful, if you are attentive and clever enough, you will not be deceived. Nobody will deceive you. We will be here. They will throw all their bomb, throw all their missiles, throw all their lies and blackmail, and at the end, they will fail. In this very restoration of Biafra, I have said this several times, everybody have a role to play. In Biafra issue, everybody have a role to play. There is division of labor. If you know where your own role is, please focus on it. If you know that area where you are called, whichever area you know you are called, I beg you in the name of Chukwu, focus on it. And I have also said in this program that so many people have played a role in the coming of Biafra. Some have played a negative role to fulfill prophecy in the negative side, and some are fulfilling prophecy in the positive side. Whichever side you have chosen to fall into, if you have chosen to fall into the negative side because of your greed, envy, and jealousy, you are fulfilling prophecy on the negative side. That is your own choice. Focus on it. If you are fulfilling prophecy on the positive side of the coming of Biafra, hold it very strong. Don't allow anybody to deceive you. These are all prophecies that must be fulfilled for Biafra to come. That is why when I see people acting in certain ways, I am not moved. Because I know they are fulfilling prophecy on the negative side because they yielded to that. Those of us who are fulfilling prophecy on the positive side, we have yielded to that. It is a thing of choice. Chukwu Okike created every human being and gave us that choice to make decisions. Chukwu Okike has the right and authority to force you to obey him and worship him. But he wouldn't do so. He gave us that liberty to make that choice. And in that liberty has given us, some of us have chosen evil, some choose good. And there is nothing as being in between. That is why Chukwu Okike said that if you are lukewarm, he will vomit you out. It is either you are hot or you're cold. In the restoration of Biafra, there is something that you must have at the back of your mind. Biafra must be restored. In that restoration, everybody have a role to play. Some have a negative role to play. Some have a positive role to play. Whichever angle or side you have found yourself, due to your own choice, either on the negative or the positive side, remain on that. And for me personally, I appreciate you. Since you have chosen the negative side, I appreciate you. Because that your negative act is going to lead to the coming of Biafra. It will. There is nothing you do against Biafra that will not lead to the coming of Biafra. Every negative thing you do will turn to positive. There was a time I was preaching a message and I gave the example of the betrayal of Christ by Judas. I gave that example. The betrayal of Christ by Judas. If Christ was not betrayed and crucified, Christianity will be nowhere today. The reason for which Christ came will not be fulfilled. Judas fulfilled prophecy, but on the negative side. And he was not forced to do so. It was because of his greed, envy, and love for money. He became a willing tool to fulfill prophecy in the negative side. The same thing is happening in Biafra. In this Biafra restoration, there are people that are going to fulfill prophecy on the negative side. And they are already working. Working so hard because the time is near. Very, very near. I also have seen some group of people who have played an important role when it was their own time to play the role. They played their role. When it was time for evangelism, time for agitation, there are so many people that played a strong role in agitation. They agitated so much. They made a lot of noise. They made a lot of noise that people begin to hear about Biafra through them. But now that we have graduated into restoration, it is no longer talking as an organization. We have graduated into being a government, speaking as a government. Those people who were there during the time of our agitation, some of them are not capable to match the speed or the spirit of restoration. If you are one of those who was in that agitation and your spirit is not up to the level of restoration, the best thing for you to do is to remain calm. Go in and allow those who have the spirit of restoration to be in the front. Don't castigate them. Don't attack them. Everybody who has participated in agitation when it was time of agitation, we appreciate you, and Chukwu Okike Abiyama appreciate you a lot. We all appreciate you. Where you are going to find yourself in a difficult situation is when you now know that your own stage have passed and you are forcing yourself into an area that you have nothing to offer. And at the end of the day, you now make yourself a willing tool because of greed, envy, and jealousy. And now you fall into the hand of the enemy to begin to work negatively to the fulfillment of the prophecy, which you yourself promoted initially. In that case, your punishment is going to be severe. There are so many people who have fallen into this very category. The Department of Saboteur and their media warriors that you see today, they did a good work when it was time for agitation. They agitated. Some of them agitated very well and they did good work. But when we have now graduated into restoration of Biafra, they have refused to step aside and allow those who are gifted on that direction to move on. And they have refused to learn. They have refused to grow. They remain stagnant in one place and continue to speak something that we have already crossed. We are now speaking as a government, entering into restoration, but they are still in agitation. And I asked them, for how many years will you continue to agitate before you talk of becoming a Biafra? They have no answer. But today, even our Supreme Amazon Nnamdi Kanu told us that the new dimension has arrived and that we should listen to him. We should share his video and follow him. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu announced the new dimension, which is the next stage of the restoration of Biafra. But some of these idiots have decided to remain stagnant where they were before. And for the fact that they cannot be able to cope up, if you can't be able to cope, it is not mandatory that everybody must fight for Biafra. Now that you are exhausted, no more thing in your brain anymore, just go in, cover your blanket and sleep. When Biafra comes, you can come back. We have nothing against you. But when you know you have nothing to offer, you don't want to give way, you are standing as a hindrance to those who has been ordained to go into restoration. Chukwu Okike Abiyama is going to give you your punishment and you'll never get scot-free. That thing you're dipping your hand into is going to destroy every work you have done in the past. That is how dangerous. It will destroy everything you have done in the past. That is how dangerous it is. Some of them will not learn. He that have ears, let him hear. Coming back again in the division of labor, in the restoration of Biafra, now coming to the freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, to secure the freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, which is also to secure the freedom of Biafra. The restoration of Biafra is also the freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. When you narrow it down to the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, there is division of labor. Every single one of us have a role to play. In the freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, there are those that are in the judiciary section, the lawyers. There are some of us who are acting on agitating section. There are some of us who are today standing in as Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's disciple, as his own family, fighting on our own, the ordinary people, speaking in a loud voice. Those groups are there. There are some who have chosen the section of prayer. They are always on their knees, speaking spiritual work. That is what there are people who are on the spiritual level. They are pursuing the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the coming of Biafra spiritually. Our Supreme Leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have talked about people who are praying for Biafra on daily basis. The same thing that you see happen among the Jews. In the state of Israel today, there are people who their job is only to pray for the country. We have that same group in this Biafra you are talking about. We have that same group in Biafra. And there are people, those people, who their own duty is to pray, 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 and continue to pray. There are some people who their own duty is on the administrative level. They are pursuing the administrative process to make sure that Biafra comes and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released. These are different groups and different areas where people operate. Anytime you leave your own area and begin to dabble into another area, you are getting it wrong. And you are destroying yourself. You are destroying your own work. If you are a lawyer, face your law work. Go into the court and defend Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and stop at that. The ordinary people who are mounting pressure on the government outside, they continue to focus on that and let the lawyers do their job. Those who are on their knees praying spiritually based on their own issue, continue to pray continuously, undeterred, undistracted. Anytime you begin to dabble into another group to destroy them, to make yourself relevant or to make yourself hard, you are destroying yourself. And let me tell you, trying to make yourself popular or trying to make yourself relevant is not necessary. It is not necessary. It is Chukwu Okike Abiyama who sees in secret and in open, and he knows the work of everybody. All of us must not be on the front line. There are people that are working underground. There are people that are working openly. There are people who come boldly to speak. Please, whichever area that you are, focus on it. There is division of labor in this very restoration of Biafra, and we must hold strong on that division of labor. I am saying this because of the video that came out from the judicial, from the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. From the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, this is going to be the last nail to the coffin. We know that some of them have been bought over. We know that some of them are the eye of the government in IPOB. After several silence, after several warnings, our Prime Minister could not hold it back. He exposed them and called them to their face. You are the eye of the government in IPOB. After that very pronunciation, after several warnings, and then that pronunciation, since then till date, things have not remained the same. But this set of people are always trying to put themselves on the front line all the time, forcing themselves to be on the front line, thinking that Biafrans are fools. We are not fools. Biafrans are the smartest people you can think of on the planet Earth. Take it to the bank. The Biafran people, they are the smartest people you can think of on the planet Earth. And I didn't just say it. A lot of people have spoken and confessed about it. Even our enemies knows our smartness, our intelligence is one of the things that is scaring them. Including the British. It is our intelligence that is scaring them. So for you to think that you can push in those your blackmail and propaganda to distract what we are doing, you are insane. You are only exposing yourself the more. Our Prime Minister have warned you, and you don't want to hear, that anytime you open your mouth in the public to speak on the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you will see shame and disgrace. Today, you people came out and you left what you're supposed to do. You left the court you are supposed to focus on. Since you claim that you are forcing yourself to be in the court of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you are forcing yourself to be in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Why don't you focus on what you think you can offer as a lawyer and remove your eyes from what the people are doing to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? We are taking a multi-dimensional approach to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In that multi-dimensional approach, there are individuals that have their own personal plans. If you have such plans, nobody's going to stop you. I have mentioned about the ordinary people, members of IPOB, the original IPOB, who are today working day in, day out to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu release, because his release is in our hand. It's not in the hand of any lawyer, any judge, or any court. I have said it right from the beginning. We believe that it is we that release him. You that believe that it is in the court, why don't you focus on that court? Those who believe in prayers, they are on their knees praying 247. Why is it that these people who claim to be in judiciary will not mind their business? Why? You came in the public and you are saying that Mazen Nandekano told you that he's not in support of the sit at home. Who cares? Who cares? Did we ever tell you that Mazen Nandekano put in place the sit at home? Have you ever had anybody, do you hear our Prime Minister telling you that it was Mazen Nandekano that put in place the sit at home? Mazen Nandekano did not order sit at home. He did not. And if you are a Biafran and you say you like Mazen Nandekano defended you while he was outside. And now that he's in the camp of the enemy, you still expect Mazen Nandekano to be fighting for you from the camp of the enemy. You are a mad person and you're wicked. You are wicked. The sit at home we are doing today is an agreement by the Biafran people. The Biafran people, the original IPOB of Mazen Nandekano, came together and agreed unanimously that it is their own responsibility to free their leader. And in that strategy to free their leader, they chose sit at home as one of the strategies. They have chosen sit at home as one of the strategies to free Mazen Nandekano. Sit at home, it is not to attack anybody. Sit at home is not to influence anybody. Sit at home is not to showcase muscle against anybody. Sit at home is not to destroy anybody's economy. Sit at home is meant to show the world and the Zululand Republic that we are not in support of what they are doing to our leader. And we want to use that means to also punish the federal government authority in the southeast to make sure that they feel the pain of the people. They make sure that they hear us whether they like it or not. And listen and release Mazen Nandekano. Is one of the strategies that the original IPOB have chosen by their own self to continue to hold to heart until Mazen Nandekano is released. They made it very, very clear. The only reason why you see the sit at home, there is no two reasons. Only one reason why they sit at home have been sued is to release Mazen Nandekano. They want to sit at home. They put it in place. We have never ever told you that it was Mazen Nandekano that ordered sit at home. Mazen Nandekano ordered it. So why would you, for God's sake, come out in the public and begin to go against that which was meant to release Mazen Nandekano? You that call yourself a senior advocate of the law, with all your qualification and all your grammar and all your drama of speaking English, have you been able to do as little as allowing Mazen Nandekano to get his rights in DSS? You have not. Look at the speech you are making, coming to celebrate what have been said over and over and over and over again. Is this the first time your Binta Nyako is giving order to the DSS and they refuse? Is this the first time Binta Nyako is giving order to the DSS to allow Mazen Nandekano even to change clothes? Something as simple as changing his clothes. The DSS refused to obey. Allowing him his praying materials, they refused to obey. Allowing him his glasses, they refused to obey. Including this very issue of his doctors. His doctors came to treat him. And you and your so-called group called back those doctors. You hindered it because you were not informed. Because you said, you claim you are not aware. Mazen Nandekano by his own self, have succeeded in getting doctors, his personal doctor, physicians to take care of him. Everyone who saw in the news. So why are you making that very speech, that press release, as if it is something we have not heard before? What is the difference between what Binta Nyako have said now and what she has said before? How many orders have Binta Nyako given and the DSS obeyed it? How many? How many? How many? You have lost experience, you have lost wisdom, you have nothing to offer. You resorted to kneeling down and begging. Each time you come online, is either you kneel down and begin to beg Buhari, or you begin to beg this, you kneel down every minute of the day, because you have exhausted every other means that you have in your brain. You have nothing else to offer. Knowing fully well that you don't have anything to offer, why don't you keep your mouth shut? Go to the courtroom and go back to your home, and allow those who has a strategy already to continue what they're doing. That the name of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is still mentioned today, that the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu still remains on the top, is because of the sit at home. This sit at home, they are telling us to stop. This sit at home that they are using you to blackmail IPOB to stop. This sit at home they are using you to confuse the Biafrans to stop. That is what is making the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu today to be on the front line. And you have the audacity to come before the press and say Mazen Nnamdi Kanu told you what? Mazen Nnamdi Kanu told you what? And even if he did, who cares? Even if he did, who cares? What we're doing today, it is our own responsibility. He is our leader. He is in the hand of the enemy. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu cannot take certain decisions in the territory of the enemies. If we allow you to continue to do it, means we have not learned anything from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. For more than a decade, this man was with us. For more than a decade, he tutored us. For more than a decade, we learned from him. All of a sudden, for you to come today and begin to destroy what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have built and claim that you are fighting for him. Did we ever tell you that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu ordered sit at home? Mazen Nnamdi Kanu did not order sit at home. We, the Biafran people, the original IPOB, under the supreme leader of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who has been tutored by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, we took our own decision, our own step, and we planned on our way to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And one of those steps is sit at home. And today, as we speak, even a blind, deaf, and dumb, they know that the reason why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is still making a headline in the country of Nigeria is the sit at home. The reason why our Supreme Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is still alive today, making a headline all over the world, is because of the sit at home. Even when you know that you cannot do anything in the courtroom, you know very well that you cannot do shit in the courtroom. Stay there for 1 million years, you can't do anything. With all your experience, all your knowledge and wisdom and all your grammar that you speak, you end up kneeling down. Every time you go to court, you just kneel down and begin to beg. What you do every day is to kneel down and begin to beg. You come to the law court, you kneel down and begin to beg. How can a senior advocate of the law, who knows the law, after your client have been granted freedom, after your client have been discharged and acquitted, in your presence, a law court in that same country said no court has the right to try this case anymore? In fact, you said it in your word that they even said pay him compensation. And the court have refused to obey, the country government refused to obey the law. What do? You lost count. The only thing you do is to kneel down and begin to beg the president. Are you sane? Are you not a joker? Are you not joking? It was when I saw you kneeling down to beg Buhari that I knew that you have nothing to offer. Are you telling me there's nothing you can do? How many times have you taken the government to international court? Can't you drag their ass to international court? The late Muhammadu Buhari, who just left power today, is supposed to be invited by ICC. He's supposed to be in court answering the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, why he refused to release him, why he went and kidnapped him in the first place. But you call yourself a senior advocate of the law. You resulted into begging. Today you have opened another chapter, another begging. Every day you come online, a qualified lawyer, senior advocate, in a case that you have won, you now come online and you continue to make your own client guilty. That is what you do. Anytime you come to beg for pardon, you are actually making Mazen Nnamdi Kanu guilty, and you call yourself a lawyer. You call yourself a lawyer. How can you be asking for a pardon for somebody who has not committed any crime? How can you be asking for clemency for somebody who has not committed any crime? How can you be asking for mercy or forgiveness for somebody who has not committed any crime? And you call yourself a senior advocate of the law? What a shame. What a shame. I don't have a problem with you. The only problem is that I have that now that you know that you cannot be able to match to the case, now that you know that you have exhausted everything you have in your head, you have nothing to offer in it, and now you resorted to begging. Why don't you remain in that you're begging and keep your mouth out of the activities of those who have a plan to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Why won't you be silent? Continue your begging and allow those who have the strategy to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which the whole world have seen, and that strategy is working. Very, very active and working. Undeniably active. The only reason why you still have a face to wear that mask and begin to showcase yourself as a lot of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is because of the stance that the original IPOB under our Prime Minister Mazi Samuel is taking. It is because of the wave the IPOB of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is making, because of what our Prime Minister Mazi Samuel the four of the steps is taking. That is why the heat is tough on the government of Nigeria. Let for you that go to the courtroom, you are not putting any, I don't see any single pressure you are putting on the government. Tell me if there is any. Anyone that is watching me, if there is any pressure, something, a kind of pressure you think that these lawyers are putting on the government, let me know. None of them. The only man that is making some meaningful moves here is Aloy Ejimako. Aloy Ejimako have filed several cases abroad. He has written to ICC. He has sued the Nigerian government in so many cases abroad. Since the issue of Nigeria is not working, he had dragged them to so many places. But you that have focused your ear and your eye on the courtroom, claiming to lead counsel, what pressure are you putting on the government? What pressure? Just name one. Tell us one pressure that you are putting on the government to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You are talking about political solution. How can you get a solution from the same people that created the problem? The only strategy you said you have is your politicians. You are dining and whining with the politicians, the same people that kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that is why today, even after he was granted bail, they refused to leave him. And because you are on bed with the politicians, because you are on bed with the politicians laughing and dining, that is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot be released. There's no pressure coming from you. There is no, all you preach every time is your political solution, because you are dining and whining with the same people that kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and you think that will release him. Because you are not mounting pressure. That is why the politicians are so bold. The only plan they have is how to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, how to shut Mazi Nnamdi Kanu down, how to make what is working to go down, how to reduce the pressure. That is what you are helping them to do. Instead of mounting pressure on them to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what you are doing is to soften the pressure. And you claim you are a lawyer of our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You are not. You are working for the enemy. It is very clear. It is very, very clear you are working for the enemy. From the very moment I saw you making Mazi Nnamdi Kanu guilty through your statement, begging, kneeling down, I know that you have nothing else to offer. And when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu even needed you most, you were not there. You were not there. You went for enjoyment in the US. And the Karawat lion went there without a fire, and was trying to defend Mazi Nnamdi Kanu through a hearsay, a lawyer. That was one of the things that brought us where we are today. And since when you came back and you saw the situation, what pressure have you put on that very government? What pressure? Nothing. You have joined the bandwagon of those who are trying to soften the whole thing. You know fully well. You claim that you are the lawyer of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and your duty is to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, the IPOB of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu under our Prime Minister Mazi Samuel is putting pressure to make sure that the government bows. And the pressure is seen across the world. The blind can see it, the lame can see it, the deaf can see it, can hear it. That we are putting pressure on them and they are feeling it so hard. They are crying day in, day out. If you really mean well for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, your only statement should be release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and let the sit at home stop. That should be your only statement. And you stop at that. Your only comment should be release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That is why his followers are sitting at home. Release him. Once you release him, they will stop. You don't come and tell us that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu did not support sit at home. Who cares? Who cares? And who asked you? Who cares if you support him, you support sit at home or not? Was he the one that put sit at home in the first place? Did we ever tell you that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu put in place a sit at home? He never did. We are doing it as our own responsibility to free our leader from the camp of the enemy. We are doing it to free our leader from the camp of enemy. And it is working. It is working. It is because of this sit at home. That is why they dare not do anything to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They know that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has people. It is sit at home that made them to understand that people are behind Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Without the sit at home, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is gone. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is gone. Every Monday is a reminder to the federal government that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has followership. Every Monday is a reminder to show them that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu followership is even growing, is even increasing. If you stop it, you are only trying to kill Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And that is the plan of the enemy. The enemy are scared. The government of Nigeria are scared of the followership of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That is what they are scared of. Not just Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. What the enemy of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is scared, the zoological people, what they are scared of is the followership of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And you want to sweep that followership under the carpet. You want to cage that followership. You want to shrink that followership and make it strong. And you say you are the lawyer of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself for you to come in the public and say that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu did not support it, that he told you, and you are counting about economy. The same line of thought with the politicians, the same line of thought with the enemies of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That is where you are building your thought. What move have you made to tell these same people you are working for to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? These politicians that have made you a spokesperson, why don't you tell them, release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and sit at home will automatically stop? Why don't you remind them and tell them the only reason why these people are still talking about sit at home is because you are holding their leader. Their leader that the court have said, let go. Why don't you obey your own court first of all before you talk about stopping sit at home? If you mean well for Mazen Nnamdi, that should have been what the comment you make. But every one of you is trying to project him or herself as a champion, even when you have nothing to offer. You think that Biafrans are not watching. Biafrans are not deaf. We are not dumb. We are watching, and we know who is doing what he or she is doing. And whatever role you play, we are going to remind you when the time comes. Whatever role you play, we will remind you when the time comes. Somebody who's supposed to know better, all of a sudden begin to act like I can't just understand. I can't just understand. When it comes to the issue of Biafra, people that you least expect to sell out will be people that will be selling out. When it comes to the issue of Biafra, let me tell you, it is not about how educated you are. When it comes to Biafra, if you are not born for this mission, no matter how educated you are, you become foolish. If you are not born for this mission, no matter how educated you are, they will confuse you and they will take you along. They will bribe you. If you are not born for this project, there is no matter how learned you are, how correct you are, you'll be bought over. But if you are born for this mission, If you are born for this, it is not about the classroom education. Forget about the classroom education, your qualification and certificate, your useless certificate that cannot even fetch you 3 square meal. Forget about that. If you are born for this mission, there are information that Chukwuka sealed in you from your mother's womb. And when you open your mouth and speak, people will see words, truth. People will see the light. People will have a fresh breath. That is what Biafra is. When you are hearing that Biafran people are intelligent and smart, that is it. If you were born for this mission, for this project, you will be unbribable. When you speak, people will see wisdom. When you talk, the followership will be by you. But if you're not born for this mission, you can come and do your pasmaga. Highest is 1 or 2 weeks, 1 month, and you'll be exposed. The Biafrans will withdraw their support from you. That is one thing I love Biafrans for. Biafrans don't support nonsense. Biafrans don't support nonsense. Anytime you give them a choice to make, they will always take the best. Biafrans do not support nonsense. Even if you bring the janjaweed, you bring 3 janjaweed and tell them support, they will pick the best janjaweed among the 3 without any sentiment. You come in a neutral ground and you bring qualified people for a post. Bring qualified people for a post. We don't look at who is an Igbo and who is a Jaw, who is a Hausa or Yoruba. We pick the most qualified. That is what Biafrans are. All these idiots that call themselves lawyers, the earlier you begin to focus on your job, the better for you. Since you are forcing yourself into the case, already we know that Mazen Nandekano has a special counsel. And Mazen Nandekano today deals directly with the special counsel. Mazen Nandekano, whatever thing he wants to tell us today, it is through the special counsel. He has nothing to do with it. When was the last time you visited him? When was the last time you visited Mazen Nandekano? You that come to claim. Look at what you are celebrating, granting speech. Today you have succeeded in pushing Mazen Nandekano to the background. Mazen Nandekano doesn't even come to court again. He doesn't even know when his own court is. Anytime you like, you fix your court and you come there and you talk and you go. Unlike before, when we await the coming of Mazen Nandekano and his coming of his case, and whenever the case is called up, Mazen Nandekano, his followership will be there to support him. But today you have succeeded in working with the Judicial Republic. Any day Mazen Nandekano case is being called up, nobody even cares to put eyes on there again. It's just like an ordinary person is going to call. But initially, anytime case of Mazen Nandekano called up, they feel the pain. They spend money at least to secure the area. They spend money to secure the area. Today you have helped the government to cut that cost. You have helped them to cut the cost. The expenses, the pain they're supposed to be feeling for holding Mazen Nandekano, you help them to cut it off. And all you do is your kangaroo cases. Every time you come and you come and announce, give a press statement for what I don't know. When I heard that Mazen Nandekano won again, I was thinking if there was something reasonable to say. Did you think we are moved with all those kind of thoughts? Do you think we are moved with such stories? You just come and say, oh, we have one case again. What case? What is new in what you just said last and what you have said in the past? What is new? Is it not the same Binta and Yako? How many times have Binta and Yako given this order? Even something as simple as changing Mazen Nandekano clothes, the clothes is wearing, to change it, you could not be able to effect it as a lawyer. You and your Binta and Yako could not be able to effect it. Something as allowing him to use his praying materials, you could not be able to effect it. This same your Binta and Yako could not be effected. This very treatment of a thing, meeting his doctors of a thing. Mazen Nandekano, your Binta and Yako have given the order several times for Mazen Nandekano to get his treatment. Did they allow him? Even to get his glasses, did they allow him? Did they allow him? So what is new? Is this the first time we are hearing this judgment? Is this the first time that this judgment is being enacted? Is it the first time? You just want to make yourself a poster boy for a very long time. You know you've not been in the camera. Shame have driven you away. You've not been in the camera for a long time. Now you want to make yourself relevant, and you are not listening to us. that Mazen Nandekan have won the right to get his personal private doctor anywhere he like. Didn't Mazen Nandekan call for his doctor and you yourself stopped it? Mazen Nandekan got his personal physicians. They were coming to treat him. They got to the DSS only for you to send a call and say you were not told, that you were not informed, and you stopped it. It was in the news. It is not. It was in the, you know, some of us are so forgetful. Some of us are. Let for me that very press statement you're making. They're supposed to throw stone on you. Biafrans are supposed to spit on you and throw stone on you. The same thing you came and stopped. The same thing you came and you stopped. Mazen Nandekano got his physician to come and treat him. You made a call. You made a call to your partners in DSS to stop the physician from treating Mazen Nandekano. You truncated that very move, which you never denied. You only claimed that you were not informed, that you are not aware. And because of that, you stopped the physician from seeing Mazen Nandekano. The same thing he has won by himself and got it. That is what you are announcing today. Bring yourself as a poster about, oh, now Mazen Nandekano has the right to go anywhere and treat himself. And you want us to begin to clap for you. Oh, you have done well. Clap for you. It is only those who are not following events. You can't deceive us. You cannot deceive us. You can only deceive those. You can't deceive the Biafran people. The hardcore followers of Biafra. The hardcore followers of Mazen Nandekano. The original IPOB under our Prime Minister Mazi Samanepa. You can't deceive us. We are 1,000 miles ahead of you. You see, the release of Mazen Nandekano is in our plan, and we are going to release him, whether you like it or not. That's people that sent you, that paid you money to calm us down. You know already that it's impossible. It's impossible. You cannot calm us down. The 2 weeks sit at home, the triumphant entry into Biafra is going to kick off on 31st. Nothing can stop it. 31st. Anywhere you are as a Biafran, wherever you are as a Biafran, prepare for what is coming. It is going to be a massive one. Don't say you are not told. Do not say you are not told. Do not put yourself in harm's way. Do not put yourself in harm's way. We are going home starting from 31st of this month. We have put everything in place up to the sense of providing palliative so that you will not have an excuse to give. That is how serious the sit at home is. If you expose yourself to danger and you try to provide yourself for blackmail, you have yourself to blame in heaven. Whether you are alive or you are dead, it will not stop us from requesting for the freedom of 70 million Biafrans. It will not stop us. Nothing on the planet Earth will make us to retreat. Nothing. The only thing that can change the situation today is when we wake up and we hear that Mazen Nandekano have been freed. When we wake up and we see that Mazen Nandekano has been freed, that is the only time you can be able to have a break. And then Mazen Nandekano now will give us the next direction to go. As long as Mazen Nandekano remains in the net of the zoo, 31st marks the triumphant entry into Biafra. Wherever you are, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Our Liberation Army, they are going to do their job. The message has been sent, and it's sent very, very clear, sounding very clear. Every flag of the zoo in Biafra now will be lowered from 28th of this month. Every flag of the zoo will be lowered from 28th of this month in Biafran territory. If you don't, what you see, you take. Every foreign company in Biafran land has to observe the 2 weeks at home. They have to shut down for 2 weeks. The oil companies in Biafran have already sent their notice. They got the message, and from 28th, they are shutting down. From 28th, they are shutting down. No movement in Biafra territory until that 2 weeks. No tanker that is carrying petroleum from any one point to the other in Biafra land. You will not. You dare not. You dare not. There will be no movement of any tanker from the southeast to any, from Biafra land to any direction. If you dare, you can try. If you think it's a joke, you can try. We are going to tighten the sanction on this very Zoological Republic. And I tell you, 31st of this month marks the end of Nigeria. 31st of this month marks the beginning of the end of the zoo. There's no two ways about it. The international communities are aware. Our allies are aware. Even the Zoological Republic themselves, they are aware. Signals have been sent right, left, and center, and they know. They know what is coming. If you think it's a threat, think again. Our only concern today is my fellow Biafrans, wherever you are in Biafra land. I beg you in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiyama, wherever you are, listen to instruction. I say it and I say again, we are not pleased at the death of any Biafran. We are not pleased at the death of any human being, any genuine person, any sincere and truthful person. We are not pleased at the death of loss of any life. Every life matters. As far as Biafran people are concerned, every life matters. Every life matters. No matter your religion, no matter your tribe, no matter your location, every life matters. As long as you play through to the rules. As long as you play the rules. That is why we are taking our time to reduce the collateral damage to number 0. And you are going to help us in this. You are going to help us in this. Wherever you are in Biafra, I beg you in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiyama, obey simple instruction. Simple instruction. Obey for your own sake. For your own sake. We have lost so many people already. We don't want to continue to lose people. We have lost so many Biafrans. A lot of them. Very many of them. We have lost mothers, fathers, children, young ones. We don't want to continue to lose people. Enough is enough. We don't want to continue to do anything that will endanger the life of anybody in Biafran land. But in that, you have to play your own role. That is why we are shouting on daily basis, updating you and telling you what will happen when it has not happened. If you are not following our Prime Minister Mazisa Manepa on Twitter, I beg you in the name of Chukwu Okike, go and open Twitter and make sure you key in every minute. Informations are coming. Updates are coming. Follow all the auto-piloted platform. Follow all the Biafra Republic platform. The original IPOB. We are going to broadcasting today. Or joint broadcast. Come to that joint broadcast. Every single channel you see on that joint broadcast. Every single person you see in the joint broadcast, whatever they say, is the voice of the Biafran Republic of Exile, the voice of our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Obey it, follow it, and you won't have any problem. You won't have any problem. It is important that you come to the broadcast, the joint broadcast this evening. The media warrior, we are going to have a joint broadcast this evening. Come to that broadcast so that you can know the people who are working for you, who are standing for you. When you know them, follow all the platform and take serious every information you get from everyone. Anybody you did not see in that joint broadcast, anybody you didn't see among the people in that joint broadcast, he is not part of us. Don't take them serious. Any video that does not emanate, that does not originate from our Prime Minister Mazisa Manepa, it doesn't exist. This part is very important because of what is happening. Because of the propaganda. We must have to be very careful about the video we share, the video we like, the video we comment on. Very, very important. Don't just rush into commenting or sharing videos simply because you like what is happening, or maybe the person is fighting the same enemy you're fighting. Don't take because somebody is fighting the same enemy you're fighting, then you claim responsibility for his video. No. We don't want to permit any blackmail. Whatever we do, we will claim. Whatever happens, any video that you didn't see on the platform of our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, any video you did not see on the platform of the original IPOB under Biafra Republic Government in Exile, any video you didn't see from them, it doesn't exist. It doesn't belong to us. Don't claim it. Don't share it. Don't comment on it. The blackmail will intensify. It is going to intensify. This warning is very, very important and critical. Share this video to every platform that you belong. Share it to family and friends. Share it to anybody that is close to you. This information must be hid to. It is something that you must take to heart. Don't just like a video simply because the person in that video is speaking what you think is right or fighting the same enemy you are fighting. Don't claim it. That is why it is important that you come to our joint broadcast today. Come to our joint broadcast today so you can be able to identify the platforms you'll be listening to. Come to our program today so that you can be able to identify the platforms you'll be following. It is very important. We are entering a very serious time. We are entering a very critical period. A time, oh my God, the triumphant entry into Biafra, that's what I call it. In that triumphant entry, you must know whom you listen to. You must know who you pay attention to. You must know the direction you are going. We cannot afford to leave anybody behind. Our Supreme Leader Mazen Nanikan gave the instruction that we must carry everybody along, and that is what we are doing. As long as you are from the old southeastern region, the present south-south and the southeast with Lower Benue, any place you are and your grandmother is tying 2 pieces of wrapper, you are a Biafran, and this message is for you. Prepare for the triumphant entry. Prepare to go home. The journey into Biafra will begin from 31st of this month. We are going to walk through the door into Biafra. Our Prime Minister of Biafra, Simon Ekpa, have already gotten the key. He has already gotten the key. Open the door, and he's going to lead us into Biafra, starting from 31st of this month. If you want your freedom, prepare yourself to march into Biafra. If you want to be free, prepare yourself to march into Biafra. No man born of a woman can stop the journey. If you are not prepared, get prepared. What you are supposed to ask yourself today is, what are you going to role? What role are you going to play as we walk into Biafra? What role are you going to play in the course of that journey? What role are you going to play to make that journey a successful one? That is the question. And in the role, today there are so many things you can do. Already we are embarking on providing palliative to those who are less privileged. We are providing palliative wherever you are watching from. You can choose how many families you will sponsor. $10 per family. The website through which you can make donation is there. In all the platform of the Biafra Government Exile, you will see the website there. Make your donation. Choose how many family you want to sponsor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to any number you can sponsor. Each family is $10. No amount is too small. You can equally extend it by looking into where you come from. Every one of us have families in Biafra land. We have where we come from. Look at the people who you feel they are left, who you feel cannot be able to meet to their own target. Reach out to them. Reach out to them. Provide for them. Every family around you that you know they cannot be able to meet up to the needs within this period, reach out to them. You can take as many families as just provide for them, so that this very 2 weeks will be locked down completely. And as for the blackmailers, the criminal governor, the certificate forger and woman and husband wife snatcher, certificate forger and wife snatcher that is busy threatening Biafran people, fear not, he can do nothing. That idiot who cannot do more than a dead rat, his threat is rubbish. He can't do anything. that he will seize your shop and give it to another. It will not happen, not in Biafra land. Not while we still have Biafra program in exile. Not when we have the de facto government in the homeland. He will not succeed. Nobody is going to seize your property. And your job, nobody will take your job from you. Nobody will take your job from you. As long as you maintain instruction, stay alive. The most important thing for us today is for you to stay alive. Stay alive and let us get into Biafra. Let me see who is going to take your job or take your shop from you. In Biafra land again. This time not in Lagos, in Biafra land. And somebody will take your shop and hand over to somebody else. Or somebody will take your job and give somebody else. It will not happen in Biafra land. Not when we have the Biafra Republic government in exile, which is in charge today. And we have the de facto government of the homeland that is in charge of the affairs. It won't happen. Don't fall to that threat. Let me see how many shops he wants to seize and which people he wants to give it. Let me see how many people he wants to sack, how many schools he wants to close down, how many banks he wants to close down. Let's see. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Don't fall a victim to their blackmail and propaganda. Focus on that which is right. Pursue your freedom. Freedom comes with sacrifice. Prepare yourself to make the sacrifice. We are fighting today, not just because of us, but because of our generation unborn. We are doing this for our children and our children's children. It's not even for our own generation to enjoy. We are fighting this cause to make sure that our generation unborn, we have a sane society. They will not be facing the same challenges we are facing. They will not be running from one country to the other, running helter-skelter. They will be doing that. They will grow in Biafra and be proud of where they come from. That is why we are doing what we're doing. And it entails sacrifice. It requires sacrifice. So, be ready to make the sacrifice, no matter what it is. No amount is too much to pay for sacrifice for your freedom. If you know what freedom is, and in case you don't know what freedom is, go to the prison yard and interview people who are there. Then you will know the value of prison. You know the value of freedom. If you have been detained once, even for at least 1 week, you will now know the value of freedom. No amount is too much to pay for freedom. That is why today, I beg you in the name of Chukwu Okike, be focused. Listen to the right people. Listen to our Prime Minister, Mazi Samuel. He is the only man in the front, speaking the voice of the Biafran people. Listen to him. Pay attention to all the Biafran government in exile platforms. And Chukwu Okike will lead us into Biafra. I appreciate every one of you that have joined us on this very morning broadcast. Wherever you have joined us from, I say, may Chukwu Okike guide and protect you. Especially people that are watching from Biafra land, you are so dear to my heart. And I pray that Chukwu Okike will continue to protect you, secure you, and keep you safe. Wherever you are watching this program from, as long as you are a Biafran in any part of the world, you will be alive and you will see Biafra. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect everyone that is genuinely seeking for freedom. Regardless your race, your tribe, your location, your religion, you will see freedom in your lifetime. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect everyone that is pursuing that which is right. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect our ESN. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect our Biafra Liberation Army. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect the BNL and their leaders. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect all our media warriors that are crying daily on different platforms. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect them and their families. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect all the Umuada that are making waves to make things happen. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect them. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect their leader, Honorable Charles Kazuka Nwankwo, our defense minister. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect her, secure her, give her more wisdom, knowledge and understanding, and more strength, more mental toughness to move on until we get our freedom. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect all the members of Biafra Republic Government and Exile Cabinet. All the members of the cabinet. We commit them in the hand of Chukwu Okike for divine protection, divine grace, divine wisdom, knowledge and understanding. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect our Prime Minister, Mazi Samuel, wherever he is at this moment. We commit him in the hand of Chukwu Okike for divine protection. For divine protection. Let Chukwu Okike send legions of angels for him. In his going out and his coming in, he will be protected. Wherever he goes, he will never dash his foot against a stone. No weapon of the enemy will come close to him. May Chukwu Okike build a wall of fire around him to consume every evil that will come close to him. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to guide and protect our supreme leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, wherever he is. We commit Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in the hand of Chukwu Okike Abiyama for divine healing, for divine protection, for security, for safety, for long life and prosperity. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama keep Mazen Nnamdi Kanu for us, and very soon he will join us. Everything that is not right in his body, every illness in his body, be healed. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to send doctors to him every night and day to continue to minister to him and heal him of all ailments. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama bring him back to us very, very soon. No weapon formed or fashioned against the Biafran shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shall prosper. I appreciate every one of you that have joined me. Everyone that have joined for this broadcast from the beginning to the end. No weapon formed or fashioned against you shall prosper. You will see Biafra. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for being there. I will see you again in the evening. Please try to join me on my platform, King David Exploit Expose, in the evening. I will be broadcasting there. And we are also going to have a joint broadcast of the Biafra Rebel Exile Media in the evening. Please join us to extend this radical evangelism to everywhere. We must carry everyone along. Thank you so much and stay blessed. Bye-bye.